This is a pig heart. It's very similar to a human heart. Hearts are mostly made of muscle. The hearts of mammals and birds have 4 chambers, 2 atria and 2 ventricles. The left ventricle pumps blood to the body to deliver oxygen to the cells. The right ventricle pumps oxygen-poor blood to the lungs to pick up more oxygen. Auricle means ear. Kind of looks like one, doesn't it? There are 2 of them that increase the capacity of the left and right atria. The left atrium is beneath the left auricle. It collects oxygen-rich blood from the lungs and pumps it to the left ventricle. The right atrium collects oxygen-poor blood from the body and pumps it to the right ventricle. On the surface of the heart, you can see a strange-looking line. This is a blood vessel called the coronary artery. It carries blood rich in oxygen to the heart muscle itself. The cells of the heart need oxygen too, or they can't produce energy. No energy means no heartbeat. If the coronary artery becomes blocked, you can have a heart attack. This yellowish substance is called fat. This heart looks pretty healthy. Some are so covered with fat they are almost totally yellow. So let's look at the top of the heart. You'll see several large blood vessels. They have very thick and muscular walls and are called arteries. This is the pulmonary artery. It carries oxygen-poor blood to the lungs. Right next to it is the aorta. In a full-grown human, it's as wide as a garden hose. It carries oxygen-rich blood from the left ventricle to cells all over your body, from your head to your toes and all parts in between. Right here, it looks as if the left auricle has been cut. But right next to it, you can see one of the pulmonary veins, which carries oxygen-rich blood to the left atrium. Veins carry blood back to the heart and have thinner walls than arteries because the blood is not under as much pressure. Now I have to explore a little bit here. I'm looking around the right auricle for a hole, and it's called the vena cava. There it is. It's an opening. It's actually a large vein that brings oxygen-poor blood back to the heart from the body. Sometimes they're a bit hard to find because the butcher cuts them off so close to the heart. Okay, that was a quick look at the outside of a heart. Now let's look inside. It's important to cut the heart just right, or when you open it up, you won't see very much. Here's how you do it. You want to cut it from the bottom, which is called the apex, to the top, just like this. Now you can see the chambers. Since the heart is facing you, right is left and left is right. The left ventricle is one of 4 chambers of the heart. It's located in the bottom left portion of the heart below the left atrium. It's a chamber and is basically an opening surrounded by muscle. The muscular wall of the left ventricle is very thick and strong, so it can push blood all over your body. It's separated from the right ventricle by what we call the septum. You can see it's very thick and muscular. The right ventricle is nowhere near as powerful as the left ventricle. Can you guess why? It only has to pump blood to the lungs, and that's just a short trip. Look how thin the outer wall is compared to the left ventricle. So let's go back to the left side of the heart. What are these funny looking string-like things? These are flaps of connective tissue called valves. They keep blood flowing through your heart in the right direction. The mitral valve keeps blood from flowing backwards into your left atrium when your left ventricle contracts. If this valve leaks, your doctor might hear it with a stethoscope. We call this a heart murmur. The mitral valve is made of 2 flaps held in place by cords of tissue called chordae tendineae. On the other side of the heart is another valve called the tricuspid valve. This valve has 3 flaps instead of 2, and its job is to keep blood from moving backwards when the right ventricle contracts. If your heart valves leak, you may need to have them repaired or replaced. This is called the semilunar valve. It's another type of valve located inside your pulmonary artery and aorta. It's called a semilunar valve because it has 3 flaps that look a lot like a crescent moon. They close in between heartbeats to keep blood from flowing back into your heart. Looking from the top, you can see how they might close. In the Heart Part 2, I'll demonstrate how all of these valves work. For more information about the heart, explore the links at howaboutscience.com.